Okay, week two. Let's look at doors and windows, and then we're going to work on our structural floor system. Yeah, stairs and handrails. That's kind of the goal for this week. So let's start with doors. Um, I've given you a download packet this week for some Anderson doors and windows. And then there's also a PDF file in there that gives you the substitutions for things that may or might not work according to the original plan there. So you need to check those things. These Anderson doors and windows are pretty good models. Uh, the problem being is they're not everything. You can't always find everything you need, particularly the front door. Okay, it's really hard to find a BIM model that has the right combination of doors, side lights, and transoms and those kinds of things. So we are going to substitute and use this one that I've provided you with. Okay. Um, the the patio door back here is a sliding wood patio door. If you look at the floor plans, um, and on these doors and windows, if if you will do instead of looking for the actual sizes like they show on the plans, if you look at the model numbers, like this rear door on the plans, it's an FWG 80611. So when you go into placing these and searching for them, search for that model number. Okay, it'll make it easier for you. Okay, now on these things, excuse me, when you bring them in, go into your properties or edit the type. We're going to make some changes on these things here, and they have options. Uh, your pattern number, which is like the door or pattern type, and everything we're going to be using is pretty much going to be the colonial. Okay, so I don't think we're going to have to make any changes on the pattern other than maybe the lights wide and high. I think I may have made a change on that on the front door. I have to check and see. But the exterior trim number is going to change, and you'll have to look at this on each type because with some doors it may be different, some windows it may be different. We're going to go with 3.5-inch flat casing on all our exterior trim. So you just, the default is a 0, so you come in here and you put in whichever trim number combination it is. This particular door is a number 2. Okay. Um, all these things should be by default. Um, one one thing we're going to do at some point in this project is all of our exterior trim for doors and windows, and then our siding and those kinds of things. We're gonna use a common color. So for right now, we can just go with whatever the default is on it, and then we'll come back and change those when we're cleaning things up. You should not have to make any changes on sizes. Okay. And that pretty much is it. The big thing is making sure your exterior trim is changed, and then if possible, there might be a change to the light pattern. Okay. Okay, and we're placing the doors, of course, are going on our first floor level at a height of 0. Okay, and on some of the interior doors, there may be a wall depth change, but our exterior doors, the 4'9" and 1/16 is fine for that. Okay, now then this front door, it came in as originally with these Anderson doors, you can with some of them you can switch out the door panels with different types. And I think I've got this fixed for you. When you download it, it should install okay. If not, if you come up with a what looks like this, a total French door look, come down here to your panel type. And if it looks like the French door, then it's the SP2. Change that to this door panel Anderson SP1R1. Okay. Um, and that one may take, you may end up having to change your lights. I think it'll work when you download it. If not, let me know. Okay. And with it, we're just going to center it in. Let's go to the first floor plan. Same dimensions as was given on the drawings. We're just going to center it. And what that ends up does, it centers it in the space here. Okay. Windows, we're making a change here. Instead of a double hung unit, we're just going to go with a picture window. And I think that's the only change on Windows. The drawings give you the header height that these need to go in at, so you'll need to set that as you're placing them or after you get them in place. And with them, same thing on the exterior trim. Here we're going 3.5-inch flat casing, which is trim number 2. Okay. The basement windows, these are an Anderson awning window, and you'll have to check on the drawings and see what the head height is and get it something close, okay, to whatever. Oh, I think it says 1 foot down from the top of the foundation wall. I think I've got that right. Don't trust me on that. Check yours and make sure that that's right. But same as before. Let me look at my drawings. The drawings show these as being a 2.8 by 1'7". I think I picked out the closest thing that I could find in there. And let me, okay, so the Anderson number is a 2818, which would be a 2'8" by 1'8". Okay, so that's about as close as I think we're going to get with that. So that's what we're going to use in this particular case. Okay, same thing, 3.5-inch flat casing, right? Yep, 3.5-inch flat casing. Okay, and so that's windows, and you can use the dimensions on the out of the book for those, and that will work fine. Interior doors, we're going with just the Revit interior doors, and I'm using the single 2-panel. Okay, for a couple of reasons. It has a flat jamb, and we have these sliding closet doors here that have 2-panel doors also, so I wanted all the doors to match. So that's what I got with that. And I don't think you had to, I don't remember editing any of those for sizes. I think all the sizes are there. You just got to put them in. Now, when I've got all of these doors done and dimensioned except for this one. I did not. Okay. And if, just like in our last projects, if a door, excuse me, if it shows it in the corner, then let me see what I did. Okay, so I went 4 inches from edge of stud to edge of door jamb. Okay, so if it shows it in the corner, that's how we're going to dimension it. Edge of stud to backside of door jamb. And then set that at 4 inches. Lock that dimension. And then you can hide that dimension. Okay, and that keeps your door in there. And all the rest of my doors I've already dimensioned and placed them and locked them in place. And I was thinking this one is centered in the space. This one is pretty much centered in the space here, but it kind of comes out pretty close to a 4-inch, maybe a 3-inch. That's okay. So if they're centered, center them. Okay. If they're in the corner, go with 4 inches off of the wall. And I pretty much think that is it as far as doors and windows go. One thing you do want to check, once you get these in place, then you're going to want to come back in and edit this stacked wall. And I think when I created it, my variable height was down here on the bottom, and I had a 6-foot height on the top. So you want to change that. So you just click on the 6-foot one and make it the variable. Like in this case here, that pops up, so I can make that variable, and then that one gives me a measurement. I want the clapboard wall to be the variable. And for me, this is the way it worked out. At my stone veneer wall was 2 foot 9 3/4 inches tall. That gets me to the bottom of the window. But before you do that, you want to I put a ledger on. I created a wall sweep. Okay, let's see right here. Okay, the profile, I created a new profile. I took one of the existing ones and edited it, and gave me a profile 3 inches wide, and I think it's 1 inch. Pretty sure it's 1 inch tall, 3 inches wide. And then I put that wall sweep across that stone wall and give it the same wall material, a limestone material, as my wall. Okay, and then that should be right up against the bottom of the window. And you can always, let's pull my wall section over here. Okay, and so you can see there, I've got it up right up against the bottom of the windowsill. But you got to have your window in first at the right height in order to do that. Okay, that's pretty much it for doors and windows. I think. Oh, you can notice on all my doors, I changed them all the swing angle to 45 degrees. That's the way our paper drawings have it, and often it works out better to do it that way as opposed to the 90-degree. Some jobs will be different than other jobs. I get that, but you just select them all before you put them in, or you can get them in. You can, right click and select all instances in an entire project. It'll select all the doors of that size, and you can make the change there. Okay, that's doors and windows.